In this fertile land of North America, melting snow nurtures the reviving life. The climate here is cold, with fresh air, fertile soil. The unpolluted environment forms a natural barrier against diseases. This is a desirable natural nursery for grass seeds and high-quality pastures, as well as a perfect paradise for animals, which is why Exceed chooses this vast land as the place to cultivate Timothy. Seeds are a synonym for spring, and a year's hope begins with the sowing of every meticulously selected seed with potential genes. This is how Exceed controls the quality of pastures at the source. When the misty morning is illuminated by rays of sunlight, growls of farm vehicles accompany the ripping, sowing, irrigating, and nurturing of a year's hope. In the high-altitude desert at 44 degrees north, seeds of alfalfa have quietly sprouted at an elevation of 1,700 meters. We collaborated with the Driscoll family, which has a century of planting experience in Idaho, to establish the Driscoll Top Hay brand. It adequately utilizes the local advantages for the cultivation of alfalfa with careful irrigation and fertilization.
Yeah, I'm Braden Driscoll. I am currently the Chief Financial Officer for Driscoll Management Company. Driscoll Top Hay has been able to source each of the last few years 100,000 tons for export out of the United States and out of North America.
Exceed grows and manages 45,000 acres of pasture in its two hay bases, Vanderhoof, British Columbia and Pocatello, Idaho, and supplies 200,000 tons of high-quality hay and straw to the world every year as high-quality forage for animal feed. Calves come to the world every April and May. Then they get an ear tag with their unique genetic ID. Through the database of the tracing system for the ear tags, we can know where they were born, where they grew up, and their health, no matter where they go in the future. The scorching sun hangs high. Every corner of the ranch is busy with farming affairs, revitalizing in the spring and nourished by the summer. The hay grows more and more lushly, and the farms have entered their busy season for their top priority, harvest. All members of the farm collaborate in orderly mowing, raking, tethering, and baling from sunrise to sunset. They are racing with time every day, making full use of every second. Such scenes will reoccur every year. Hundreds of years ago, a mysterious tribe stayed true to its beliefs and never engaged in war and violence. So it crossed the seas from far-off Germany and arrived in North America, a beautiful and rich continent. Here it reestablished the communal community and has lived with agriculture production for generations, presenting itself as one of the most stable agricultural communal cultures in North America. This is the promising land where the fertile soil is God-given, with sweet, ever-flowing creeks from glaciers of the Rockies that have existed for myriads of years. The Hutterite way of living and working takes advantage of this natural condition to take care of the grains and the fields, which is also the best heritage left to the Hutterite members from generation to generation. They have managed this heritage carefully, and for them, farming and husbandry are not just jobs, but their lifestyles.
We are born and raised as one big happy family. Our faith is so deeply entrenched in what we do.
We can't imagine another way of life. This is how we are born and raised, and we are thankful for it.
As the colony is passed on generation by generation, grains also live through time on this lush land. The Wilson family kids drove the cattle to their own pasture.
We wouldn't feed our kids something that we wouldn't feed ourselves and the rest of the world. And I guess that's the real takeaway. Because if we wouldn't feed it to our kids, we wouldn't feed it to anybody else.
The calves have grown to stout feeder cattle with pastures, their best natural feed. Cattle auction is a critical process in the beef production industry. It not only changes how trades in the livestock market are made, but is also conducive to the more mature development of the cattle product market. By influentially promoting improvements in cattle health and genetic traits, it protects the interests of the ranchers and simultaneously updates the standards of the industry. This is a competition for experience between ranchers from various places. Ranchers can tell the growing potential of calves just by their physique. High-quality cattle can not only produce higher quality beef, but also greatly improve the quality of beef of their progeny on ranches. Thanks to generations of careful selection by ranchers, the quality of beef today has improved a lot compared with decades ago. The joy of the harvest is shared in the sunlight, forming a golden picture as if from fairy tales. After the hay is harvested, storage and compaction are the next priorities for the fall. A large quantity of pasture needs to be compacted and stored for winter feeding and future export to the world. We're not always favored by nature. Its occasional bad weather leads to rain or snow. In our hay farm, we have the same weather problems as all other hay growers. And the most critical problem is keeping the bales dry before they're stored. Our development team of machinery experts has solved these pain points based on the needs of our own ranch. And the Sun Favor brand was born while solving this problem. Sun Favor has launched a hay dryer, which has obtained a number of IIPRs and passed the CSA certification. It aims to genuinely solve the problems of ranchers with the excessive moisture of harvested hay and greatly improve the quality of pasture. The wheat fields are turning into golden seas to celebrate the harvest of grains. The diligent, simple tribe members of the colony have also started a busy season for harvest. Combine harvesters combine harvesting and storage together for efficient and fast acquisition of grains and grass seeds. While piglets of the colony thrive on these grains, hogs are fed by homegrown grains, primarily wheat and barley, in order to exclude unknown food sources. What you could get guaranteed from us is that all our pork products are antibiotic-free. We've accomplished the achievement of feeding without antibiotics for 15 years. Our farmers are generous, sincere, diligent, and reliable, and they have the most intellectual, efficient, tidy, and large-scale pig barn in the fields. Both farmers and hogs follow strict external and internal biosecurity protocols to prevent diseases of our hogs from the beginning to the end.
So using things like water acidification, feed acidification, and formulating diets that promote good gut health allow us to raise the best quality animals in a global marketplace.
The antibiotic-free and fully automated procedures of hog raising are the best manifestations of the Heartland's people's adherence to principles in pursuit of ultimate breeding. At the end of autumn, the cycle of farming and husbandry leads to an end. We're transporting bales from the ranch to the facility and organizing the fields piece by piece in order for the convenience of the seeding next year. The snow's going to fall heavy in the winter, and the land will freeze from bottom to top. The soil and crops are resting for the next spring. Angus cattle are raised on the open pastures. After 180 days of grain feeding, the muscle fibers of the cattle are filled with enough meat and fat to produce premium Angus beef with rich texture, tender, nutritious meat, and strong milk flavor. Meanwhile, hogs are also fattened with grains in fully automated hog houses at a constant temperature. The cold winter has come, and the forests, animals, and people begin to recuperate. It's time for people who have been working busily throughout the year to return home and reward themselves with parties and delicious food. For ranchers, dissecting cows and cooking beef are not skills from secret lineage, but the wisdom of long-time survival. The originally cut 180-day grain-fed Angus steak provides a taste that can conquer every gourmet by simply frying with sea salt. High-quality pasture is the best feed for cattle, and high-quality beef is a source of high-quality protein for humans. The transportation department in Exceed has worked with carriers to ensure our product will be shipped worldwide in the most efficient and safe manner. From the original farm to the destined table, we deliver premium agriculture products to customers all over the world. Our story of the 4 seasons ends here. Sowing in the spring, cultivating in the summer, harvesting in the autumn, recuperating in the winter. These are the cycling processes of the 4 seasons, which everlastingly recur year by year. Exceed Agro Group places the basis of its brand on the production of high-quality pasture and adheres to a steady and firm pace of development. 10 years of undertaking have transformed into our business coverage of the whole processes in the industry chain, from planting, breeding, production, processing, logistics, marketing, and consumer tourism services, leaving the imprint of the group's development all over the world. We encourage our customers to join our traveling community, SuperGo. It establishes the connection between customer and our industry by traveling in the most beautiful countries while understanding where the safest and healthiest food came from. We believe our products and services have the highest quality on the market. In addition, the establishment of our multinational branches and the diverse employee motivation and support policies have attracted more and more partners to join the Exceed family. As the name Exceed implies, we stick to our original aspiration and keep achieving higher elevations. With the vision of growing into a top-tier global enterprise of agriculture and husbandry, we respect nature and balance and aim to protect the ecology and the green.